What is going on, YouTube? I want to make this quick intermittent growth log. It's not really a regular log, but just kind of a quick update of some things that I wrote down today that I really wanted to capture for my own reference in the future, so I can go back and make correction of errors if need be. What we're looking at here is my seeds and my seed starters. I also love growing in soil. Between the two, from my experience so far, aquaponics is definitely superior to any type of soil growing. The only downfall is that there's a lot more soil on the planet than there is aquaponics grow beds. I hope to correct that issue in the future. I'd love to have a ton of grow beds and a ton of different things growing, but as of right now, I've got much more soil in my property than I do aquaponics grow beds. So I'd love to make some videos in the future about growing in soil, and I'm going to wait at least a week or two before I start any of my seeds, because I don't want to get too far ahead and have a bunch of plants growing and nowhere to transplant them to. So I'm going to wait on all that. But what I want to do quick is make some quick notes just for my own reference on some things that I've noticed in my system. The first thing I wanted to go over is back pressure. Now, I began to notice an issue with both of my grow beds after about a week or two of operation. At first, the bell siphons were working, great, and after a while I started to notice a delay in the drain time, and it's probably because the way I've set these up is a little bit different than most of the bell siphons you'll see on YouTube or read about. The way I've done these here is the cheapest way possible. As I've said in my previous videos, these are just Gatorade bottles cut and transformed, and there's no type of PVC guard around them or anything. I used netting, fish net type netting, and I actually robbed the net from my screen door, which in hindsight I probably should not have done, but I needed it, and I took it. So there you go. But what I did to correct the problem was I reduced the amount of water flowing out of the bell siphon as compared to the amount that's going into the bell siphon, which creates a vacuum. I also adjusted the angle of the downflow pipe, which also contributes to down pressure on both of my grow beds. And this has corrected the problem. It's been about 3 days, and I haven't noticed any issues whatsoever as far as draining goes. Now, my draining, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds to fill each of my grow beds, and it takes about 10 seconds or less to drain. And I've seen lots of videos with all types of drain and fill times, and as of now, this particular setup is working, and I'm going to stick with it and see where it leads me. Okay, so I just want to get that out of the way. Second thing is fertilization. Now, as I've said in my previous video, this grow bed has worms. This grow bed has worms. This one does not. I have noticed a difference. These dill plants here are starting to sprout actual dill, whereas these are not. And these ones here should be at the point where they should look like these, and they don't, which only leads me to believe that the worms and the fertilizer that they provide are benefiting these plants much more than they are these. So I think in the next couple of days I'm going to add worms to this grow bed and end that experiment. And next thing is soil versus aquaponics. Now, this was pretty much a no-brainer when I started. I pretty much, in my mind, had realized the outcome, and it has proven to be accurate. I started these dill seeds the same time as I started these, and that's pretty much a no-brainer. These ones, they're still struggling to escape from the original seeds. They're growing tall and lanky, which is a sure sign of not growing nearly as good as those are. So that's pretty much a no-brainer, lesson learned, and I will make my correction of errors. Next thing I want to go over is water temperature. Now, the temperature outside where I'm at has dropped significantly in the past week or so. Right now it's about -35 where I'm at. About a week ago I was hovering around 70-degree tank temperature, and I've since dropped to about 65, 66, and at one point I was even down to about 62. And to me, I think I have noticed a slight decline in the speed of growth, and this could be one of those things that I'm just seeing things. It's very possible, but I just wanted to document it, just for my future reference. Tank temperature, I believe, may be affecting my plant growth. And next thing I want to cover is the feeding times. At one point I was feeding these guys 3 times a day, and I was feeding them in very healthy amounts, and I started to notice a bunch of buildup on the bottom of the tank. And in my research I've read that uneaten food will float to the bottom and rot and decay and basically produce ammonia, which is poison to your fish. And I've since decreased the feed time to twice a day and decreased the feed amount, and I've seen no change. They seem a little bit more active, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. And last thing I wanted to go over, just a quick shot of the plants on the outside of the aquaponics system.